I run a fake restaurant on a delivery app. Aren't like half the restaurants on delivery apps already fake? Well, let's see. I registered a company, bought all the takeaway boxes from Amazon, signed up for a few delivery apps, made a few social media accounts, and printed out leaflets that I drop in mailboxes. I resell microwave meals. On some meals, I add something to make them look better, like cheese. So far, it's around 200 pounds a day in revenue, which I don't know what that is in American, but I assume it's still good. I take it. I might take this guy's idea. No one suspects a thing. Soon, someone will come for hygiene inspection, but I'll pass that check without any problems. It's not illegal to operate out of your own kitchen. Should I feel bad? I kind of feel proud, to be fair, and free as a bird from the 9 to 5 life. He's in the UK. I wonder how well I could pull that one off in the US. I gave a lactose-intolerant customer dairy on purpose. I know this sounds weird, but when I worked at Starbucks, there was a regular customer that was very difficult and rude. I was warned of this customer on my first day of training. She came in every morning and would try to rush the workers on doing their jobs and just makes other customers feel uncomfortable. Ooh, sounds like a Karen. 3 months into working, she came in one morning and caused absolute hell. Yep. She was complaining about her drink while one of my coworkers was making the drink. As soon as she got it, she accidentally spills it and asks for a completely different drink. I was so fed up. She wanted a Frappuccino. She went to the bathroom while we were making the new order. I switched with my coworker and made the drink. Instead of almond milk, I made the Frappuccino with regular milk. The drink was ready by the time she left the bathroom. She takes the drink and takes a sip and didn't complain. 5 hours later, she calls the Starbucks from the hospital and I was the one who picked up. She got into a car accident trying to rush to a bathroom. She said she frapped her pants. I couldn't be any happier that she was safe but got her karma. It would have been funny without the car accident. I stole over $20,000 in a very creative way in the 90s. I worked at a fast food chain in the 90s when I was in high school. When I worked there, they were in the process of phasing out denominational gift certificates. $5, $10, and $25. The way it worked was, if you spent more than half the certificate, they gave you back the rest in cash. So if you ordered $5.50 worth of food and gave them one of the $10 gift cards, they gave you back $4.50 in cash. My manager was in charge of destroying all the existing gift certificates as we transferred to the more traditional credit card-looking gift cards. I think I see where this is going. So my manager said he shredded the certificates like he was supposed to, but one night, when I was closing, I found 2 boxes of the gift cards tucked deep in the dry storage room. They were filled with the certificates that were supposed to be shredded, so I scooped them up, brought them out to the dumpster in the trash bags, and threw them away. After we closed, I came back to the back and recovered the certificates and brought them home. I counted them. There were like $1,025, $1,010, and $505 certificates. None of them had expiration dates. Total haul was about $40,000 in fast food certificates. My manager never said a word. He couldn't. He had reported them as destroyed weeks earlier. Over the next 3 years, my girlfriend and I toured every location in our state and the next 4 states ordering food and getting the change. We never kept track on a spreadsheet or anything, but we got good at knowing what menu items were just about half of each gift certificate. After the first year, we started saving the change in a shoebox and let it build up. I bought my first car for $7,800 cash from the change, and for some reason the kitty cone was $1.05. If you gave them the $5 gift certificate, they gave you back $3.95. We threw a lot of kitty cones away. Why do I feel like I've read or heard that story somewhere before? I gave a lactose-intolerant customer dairy on purpose. I know this sounds weird, but when I worked at Starbucks, there was a regular customer that was very difficult and rude. I was warned of this customer on my first day of training. She came in every morning and would try to rush the workers on doing their jobs and just makes other customers feel uncomfortable. Ooh, sounds like a Karen. 3 months into working, she came in one morning and caused absolute hell. Yep. She was complaining about her drink while one of my coworkers was making the drink. As soon as she got it, she accidentally spills it and asks for a completely different drink. I was so fed up. She wanted a Frappuccino. She went to the bathroom while we were making the new order. I switched with my coworker and made the drink. Instead of almond milk, I made the Frappuccino with regular milk. The drink was ready by the time she left the bathroom. She takes the drink and takes a sip and didn't complain. 5 hours later, she calls the Starbucks from the hospital and I was the one who picked up. She got into a car accident trying to rush to a bathroom. She said she frapped her pants. I couldn't be any happier that she was safe but got her karma. It would have been funny without the car accident. I'm putting my extremely profoundly disabled 7-year-old into a residential facility so I can forget he exists. I'm not sorry. Wow, okay, let's see what this one's about. I can't tell anyone this, even my therapist. Ask me if you want, and maybe even I deserve it. I only ask you what you would do if you were in my situation, not what you think people should do, what you would really do. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, 12 and 7. My husband passed away 3 years ago in a work accident. A very large portion of me believes it was a suicide. I can't see him ever making the mistake he made that caused his death, and he has taken an action just before that which ensured his coworkers weren't in the room. I fully believe he killed himself because our youngest son, and no one will ever change my mind. Wow, that is already really deep. It goes on, though. We were told when I was pregnant that he would have Down syndrome. We could handle that, even if it was severe. It turned out he has a chromosome deletion. His disorder is kind of rare, so I won't post which specific one, but suffice to say, he'll never be anything more than he is now, or has ever been. And what he is nothing. That seems harsh. Let's go on. He doesn't appear to have any awareness and never has. His eyes are locked in one position. He doesn't respond to noise, touch, or pain. Oh, okay. He is total care. He is capable of nothing. He is too fed and on oxygen. He is in diapers and will be forever. He makes no sounds, no attempts to communicate. He never even really cried as a baby. Huh. Okay, so it sounds like he is actually like a literal vegetable. He has never made an attempt to interact with anyone or his environment. I'm not upset I got special needs / imperfect child. I feel the way I feel because this thing... Wait, she means this thing, she's referring to the child. I feel that way. I feel this because this thing takes up 200% of my time and does nothing. I didn't get an imperfect child. I didn't get a child. I don't love him. He doesn't have any personality. There is nothing to love. Oh, now I see why she couldn't tell anybody this. I wouldn't either. Well, she's going to tell us more. And yet, I'm responsible for him. In addition to his extreme delays, he's also medically fragile. Respiratory crises, fecal impactions, his autonomic nervous system doesn't function properly. Issues with his G-tube, infections, pressure sores, no matter what we put him on or how we position him. Our older son has suffered because his non-existent brother has colored everything in his life. He's had medical care get delayed because there's only one of me and his brother is more critical. We do have a visiting home nurse, but only 20 hours a week, and we aren't eligible for more. I was starting law school. I gave up my dreams and my plan for my children as well. I was starting law school. I gave up my dreams and my plan for my children for this potato. My elder son can't do a whole lot of things he wants because of the younger one's need for care and for appointments. Vegetable, she said potato. Potato? The final straw was... I heard a sound. I went into our younger son's room to check, thinking he'd forgotten how to breathe again, and saw older son hitting him and screaming, "You're why I don't have a mother. You're why I don't have a father. You're why I can't have friends over. You're why I can't be in sports. I didn't ask for you and I hope you die." Ooh, wow. Instead of being horrified, I watched. My younger son just did not react. No signs of pain or fear or upset, no reaction at all. He breathes, but he is not alive. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know who older son is. He has no sense of self, life experience, or awareness of his surroundings. Sounds like the kid is like trapped inside his own mind and body. Ooh. He doesn't need to be in my home. He doesn't know or care where he is. He is genetically my son, but he is not my family. My previously abused brain damaged cat who can't walk straight has more personality and is far more lovable than my, this is in quotes, child. In fact, I was looking forward to raising a Downs baby, even one with severe impairments. For that reason, with disability can come with gifts. This boy is not a gift. He is a genetic mistake. I probably should have miscarried and would have definitely terminated if I'd have known he'd be like this. And the flip side is, if he has awareness, he's miserable. That's actually what I was going to get to, but this is a really long post. I was kind of picking that up when he was taking the beating earlier. And there's nothing I can do. If he has likes and dislikes, no one knows what they are. If he's in pain, he can't tell anyone. If he wants anything, he can't communicate. He's had every imaginable therapy and nothing has made a difference. And so he's leaving our home on the 29th. I feel excited and relieved, and then guilty because I know we'll be happier with him gone. He's already taken my husband and my son's father. He was working so much OT to pay for the cucumber's care. He's already taken my husband and my son's father. He was working so much OT to pay for the cucumber's care. So the experimental therapies insurance wouldn't cover, because this one was going to be the breakthrough. He was tired and defeated and disappointed. He sought counseling as well, but I don't think he could ever say the words, "I don't want my son in my home." He's ruined my older son. I was so wrapped up with the younger one, I never realized how ignored and damaged he was. He lost his father too. I didn't just lose my husband. He is my priority now, and this malignant lump couldn't be someone else's problem. At least they'll be paid to wage and care for him. At least they'll be paid a wage to care for him. At least they'll get a break from him when they need to punch out. I just want to never think of him again, and I'm not sorry for that. Thanks for reading. I added Tabasco to Wendy's chili and used it to get second place in the chili cook-off. The title basically says it all. This wasn't a professionally organized event or anything. This was some BMX event with a couple hundred people, and they always have a chili cook-off. I'm not much for cooking, so I thought it would be funny to throw a bunch of Wendy's chili into a crock pot and see if anyone noticed. They didn't. I've been a vegetarian for roughly 12 years, so this was a long time ago. That's what I call working smarter, not harder. Nicely done. Cop pulled me over and I called 911 and lied to get out of going to jail. When I was 19, I was running late to work in my tiny POS economy car and on fumes of gas. I didn't come to a complete stop on a right-hand turn. Lights behind me, so I pull over. I know I've barely got any gas and was almost to a gas station, hence why I rolled through the stop a little, trying not to have the car die. That's actually really relatable so far. Even the getting pulled over part. At the time, this was around 1995, a new digital phone had come out called VoiceStream. This is now T-Mobile. And their big thing was the phones were digital and not cellular. They were the first phones with caller ID, and one of the big things the salesman had said over and over was since it was digital, the signal couldn't be triangulated or traced. Not that I cared at the time, but it stuck in my head. Well, as I give the cop my license, registration, and insurance card, I got an idea. I knew if I was late to work, I was going to lose my job. They were super strict there. So I got an idea right after I handed the papers to the cop and he's walking back to his cruiser. I called 911 to tell the operator I just saw a guy with what looked like a shotgun walk into a 7-Eleven that was about 2 blocks away. I confirmed the address and then hung up. About 30 seconds later, the cops comes rushing to my car, hands me my stuff and says, come to a complete stop next time, then peels off to the direction of the store. Pushed my car to the gas station that I'd almost made it to and felt pretty pleased with my ingenuity. I was an idiot, and I confess. Well, oh wait, we've got an edit. Let's see if this puts the rest of the story together. Edit. Wow, this blew up. I forgot to mention, I would have gotten arrested, booked, and released because I was driving with a suspended license for unpaid traffic tickets and I had a bench warrant for it because I'm an idiot. That's more than a few minutes late to work. He'd probably been like maybe a few days if he got arrested. I used to bully my disabled brother for years. I know this will get a lot of hate, and yes, I deserve it. I'm not looking for any validation or forgiveness. I know I'm a piece of human trash. I just need to get this out. Confess, fella, confess. I have a brother who is 2 years older than me. He has suffered from a condition since birth that forces him to be in a wheelchair any time he's out of bed. He cannot use his arms that well either. We used to have a great relationship until I turned 11, and I really started resenting the amount of attention he took from my parents and how much stress he put them under. I had to constantly help him, change him, feed him, and I hated it. There was a few years in his life when he was so mean to my parents and it really made me resent him even more. I realize now that I had no right to judge him and I will never know how difficult life was for him. That is always the power of hindsight, isn't it? I stopped hanging out with him and made more friends at school. I would tell my family all the fun I was having at school during dinner just to make him feel bad. I started barely talking to him or acknowledging his presence. He would get frustrated to the point of tears to get my attention. It started escalating 2 years ago when I would purposely turn off the Wi-Fi and unplug the TV every time we had to leave the house so my brother could do nothing but sit in his wheelchair. I would purposely delete his favorite saved shows on the DVR. I would make fun of his speech, push things just out of his reach. I would act disgusted when I had to change or bathe him. It always made him feel bad and he would apologize. I made my own brother apologize for taking a dump. What the fuck is wrong with me? 3 weeks ago, he was trying to talk to me nonstop and I was just ignoring him. I got annoyed and I wheeled him against his wishes to the backyard and placed him under an umbrella and went back inside. I fell asleep and realized I left him out there for 3 hours. When I went to bring him back inside, he was in tears and wouldn't look at me. He was humiliated. I've always felt guilty about how I treated my brother all these years, but my anger towards him overpowered it. But seeing that look on his face affected me in a way that was different from before. I stopped all the bullying after that day. I couldn't even look him in the face, I was so ashamed. Last Sunday, my brother told me he was glad I was his brother and friend. I couldn't even respond. I just went to my room and cried. I'm fucking crying again while typing all this out. I was actually kinda getting the feeling he was on the verge of a breakdown while he was typing this. When did I become an evil trash human being? And he's 19 now. I know there's nothing I can do to make up for the past 6 years. When did you become an evil trash human being? 6 years ago, it sounds like. Can't rag on the guy, though. He's coming to terms with things. My brother will be returning with my mom for a specialist appointment tonight. I'm going to apologize to him and beg for him for his forgiveness tonight. I want to start by being a being and brother to him again. I am a healthy guy with no issues who chose to bully his brother for something that wasn't even his fault, and I'm ashamed of myself. I've stolen hundreds of dollars of water by just saying 5 words. My college has a food court in one of the main buildings. Chick-fil-A, sandwich place, salad bar, etc. You get your food, you pay at the exit. Every single time I've eaten lunch there since I was a freshman, I grab a bottle of water with my meal, walk up to pay and say, I brought the water in. Oh, there's the 5 words. Those don't seem magical at all, but the employees aren't paid enough to care, and I pay enough in tuition to not feel bad about it. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Get that free water. I thought I was a pretty good dad until I was tested. My son threw a snowball at me and I instinctively blocked it with my daughter. The look of betrayal on her snow-covered face has haunted my dreams for years. Oh, that's great.